choose our socks for success in all endeavors. Fortunes rises from the heel, and good luck for life.
Good morning. Today is Saturday, October 5th, 2024. Today, in history, on this day 124 years ago, Bing Xin, a modern Chinese writer, poet, and translator, was born. Her notable works include Fangxing, Chunshui, and Wingxi. Her communication prose for young readers has become a cornerstone of Chinese children's literature. Welcome to today's Qingchao Morning News. Let's start with political updates.
New York Mayor Adams accused of taking illegal campaign donations. According to the New York Times, on September 26, the U.S. federal prosecutor in Manhattan accused New York Mayor Adams of accepting $100,000 in illegal campaign donations and bribes in exchange for using his power to assist Turkish citizens. Prosecutors alleged that Turkey provided campaign funds, as well as free accommodations in luxury hotels and high-end restaurants. In return, Adams pressured New York City officials, including the FDNY, to permit the opening of a new 36-story Turkish consulate building despite serious safety hazards. Adams has denied any wrongdoing and stated that he will not resign. The 64-year-old Adams, the second black mayor of New York City, criticized federal prosecutors for allegedly leaking information related to the investigation to try this case in a public manner. Hezbollah missiles reached Tel Aviv for the first time. According to Israeli news, the Lebanese Hezbollah recently fired a ballistic missile at the headquarters of the Israeli intelligence agency, marking the first time a Hezbollah missile reached Tel Aviv in central Israel. The Israeli army intercepted the missile and has been conducting attacks on southern Lebanon and the Middle East for the third consecutive day, launching extensive airstrikes in the east. Informed sources report that the Israeli military has targeted at least 280 sites, including rocket launchers used by Hezbollah, weapons depots, and members of the organization. The Israeli military's operations against Hezbollah have entered a new stage, aiming to exert sufficient military pressure on Hezbollah's leadership to compel them to seek a diplomatic resolution to the conflict. Ukraine and Russia exchanged 13 children. According to Agence France-Presse, on September 26, Ukraine and Russia exchanged 13 children and teenagers under the mediation of Qatar. This exchange included 9 Ukrainian teenagers and 4 Russian children, with the Russian children aged between 2 and 7 years old. The Ukrainian teenagers range from 12 to 17 years old, and a 19-year-old will accompany them back home. Notably, 2 of the Ukrainians have cerebral palsy and were accompanied by medical teams. Since Qatari Prime Minister Mohammed's visits to Kyiv and Moscow last year, dozens of children have returned to both countries. Qatar stated its commitment to reuniting separated families and ensuring the safety and welfare of children. Philippines plans to launch nuclear power plant by 2032. According to Bloomberg, on September 25, the Philippine Department of Energy announced plans to build and commission its first nuclear power plant by 2032. Authorities will prioritize nuclear energy safety legislation and develop legal and regulatory frameworks to ensure public health, environmental protection, and national security. An independent nuclear regulatory agency will be established to oversee the development of nuclear power. However, analysts note that achieving nuclear power generation by 2032 may be challenging, as it typically takes an average of 10 years to build a nuclear power plant. Additionally, the Philippines is exploring the possibility of restarting the Bataan nuclear power plant, which was completed in 1984 but was never used due to the Chernobyl disaster. Global Ikhwan religious teacher sentenced to 10 years. According to Malaysian News, on September 26, a teacher at a religious school owned by Malaysian Global Ikhwan was charged with 4 counts of harming children and sentenced to 10 years in prison. This marks the first conviction in the Global Ikhwan scandal. The defendant, 23-year-old Balar Rahim, was charged in the Klang District Court, Selangor. He reportedly abused 3 boys aged 10 to 12 at a religious school and welfare center in Bukit Raja, Klang, from June to September this year. Since September 10, Malaysian police have conducted multiple crackdowns, raiding schools, children's welfare homes, and private residences operated by Global Ikhwan Services and Business Holdings. They have rescued 572 individuals suspected of being victims and arrested over 300 people for child abuse and sexual abuse. Australia urges citizens to leave Lebanon immediately. According to Reuters, on September 26, Australian Prime Minister Albanese urged citizens to leave Lebanon as soon as possible. He mentioned that the government had formulated an emergency plan to assist in the evacuation but did not disclose details. The Australian Department of Foreign Affairs reports that about 15,000 Australians are currently in Lebanon. The situation between Israel and Lebanon has rapidly deteriorated, raising international concerns about a potential full-scale war in the region. Previously, the United States, Russia, and other countries have also advised their citizens to leave Lebanon while commercial flights are still available. Additionally, the British government announced it would deploy 700 soldiers to Cyprus to assist with evacuations. '24 World Menon Culture Festival opens in Indonesia. According to ASEAN News, the 2024 World Menon Culture Festival recently opened in Jakarta, Indonesia. Leaders and guests from over 30 countries and regions, including the charge d'affaires of the Chinese embassy in Indonesia, experts, scholars, overseas Chinese, and representatives from the World Chuanzhou Youth Friendship Association, gathered alongside more than 1,000 representatives from Taiwanese societies and various Indonesian communities to share nostalgia and promote the common development of Menon culture. Menon culture, an important part of Chinese heritage, blends the essence of Central Plains culture, Fujian Vietnamese culture, and maritime culture, reflecting a hardworking spirit and rich expressions. The festival emphasizes the inheritance, display, and exchange of this cultural heritage, strengthening the spread and integration of Menon culture.
According to Xinhua Finance, the main glass futures contract recently closed at 77,050 yuan per ton, a decrease of 1.03%. That's all for today's Qingchao Morning News. Thanks for watching. Join us at the same time tomorrow.